The New England Patriots have the best record in the NFL, but missing out on a good opportunity is still difficult. New England missed out on claiming former All-Pro and Pro Bowl wide receiver Adam Thielen from the waiver wire because the Pittsburgh Steelers grabbed him instead. The former Minnesota Vikings star, who has made $89.91 million in his career, wanted out at age 35 to join a contending team in what will be his final NFL season. Minnesota stumbled to 4-8, and his return to his home state team didn't work out in the end. Instead of reuniting with former teammate and Patriots wide receiver Stefon Diggs, Thielen opted for former rival and Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. In addition, the Steelers have a more perilous path ahead at 6-6 in an AFC North where the Baltimore Ravens, 6-6, have rallied and Cincinnati Bengals, 4-8, haven't quit. Thielen nonetheless will at least get a shot at the playoffs with a team in first place for a division versus a Vikings team that just got shut out 26-0 to the Seattle Seahawks. If the Patriots had brought in Thielen, he would have brought leadership and experience to a still relatively young locker room. Thielen and Diggs played for the 2017 Vikings team that reached the NFC Championship game and won a road playoff game in the 2019 season before Diggs was traded to the Buffalo Bills. Diggs joined the Patriots this year amid the team's ascent, but his former Vikings teammate, Thielen, won't be joining the Super Bowl chase in Foxborough. Patriots have a strong and healthy WR room. Missing out on Thielen isn't the end of the world. That's not because he only had 8 receptions for 69 yards in 11 games, however. Thielen had 48 receptions for 615 yards and 5 touchdowns with the Carolina Panthers in 2024 before the team traded him to Minnesota. He certainly could have contributed in New England to some degree, but the Patriots are set and healthy at wide receiver overall. Diggs leads the way with 64 receptions for 705 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kayshon Boutte has been a solid second wideout with 29 catches for 481 yards and 6 touchdowns. Mac Hollins has likewise been reliable with 35 receptions for 440 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Demario Douglas has another good season going with 27 catches for 402 yards and 3 touchdowns. New England has found additional production from Kyle Williams, who has 5 receptions for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's just the wide receivers, as the Patriots have solid production from both tight ends and running backs in the passing game. In addition, the Patriots' wideouts have stayed relatively healthy this season, even with Diggs coming back from a significant injury. Diggs has played in all 13 games, and only Boutte has missed games this season, and it was just 2. Patriots could add another wideout later. Though the health and production is there for New England, that doesn't mean the Patriots couldn't snag a wideout somewhere later. Injuries happen, and the Patriots have a relatively young receiver room after Diggs. If the Patriots could find a veteran wideout with postseason experience for leadership purposes, it wouldn't hurt to spend a little bit of the $53 million in salary cap space for that reason. Pittsburgh Steelers defensive lineman Cam Hayward is softening his stance on his high-profile clash with Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen, and in an exclusive interview with Heavy.com, he's putting the focus on his own penalty and trying to move on. The Bills' 26-7 win over the Steelers featured several heated moments between Hayward and Allen, including a second-half exchange that ended in an unsportsmanlike conduct flag on Hayward as Buffalo pulled away and improved to 8-4 on the season. Hayward: more bonehead on me for penalty after Allen dust up. In the days after the loss, Hayward made national headlines by accusing Allen of intentionally kneeing him in the stomach after a run, saying he was ticked off the entire game and frustrated by how protected quarterbacks are compared to defensive linemen. When he spoke with Heavy.com, Hayward's tone had changed. Asked how he feels about the situation now that emotions have cooled, the Steelers captain said he is ready to leave it behind. No, Hayward said, when asked if there was anything he wanted people to understand about the incident that they did not see on TV or social media. Honestly, I'm kind of past it at this point. I think things were done. I'm going to move on. I'm going to focus on what I can control. Then, he turned the criticism on himself. More bonehead on me for even picking up a penalty and even reacting to it later, Hayward added. Football is meant to be played, and I'm going to do my job to make sure we move past this, and that's all I can do. How the incident started between Hayward and Allen. The flashpoint came in the first half, when Allen kept the ball on a 3rd and 3 run and fought for extra yards. Hayward later told reporters he believed Allen purposefully drove his knee into Hayward's stomach as the two untangled from the pile, sparking a series of jawing matches that cameras caught throughout the game. On broadcast replays, the alleged knee was difficult to see clearly, which only fueled debate online. Some fans and analysts sided with Hayward, arguing that even a subtle shot would cross a line. Others said the video did not show enough to accuse Allen of a dirty play. Here is my video of the play that led to the confrontation between Cam Hayward and Josh Allen. Allen doesn't make any abrupt movements, but Hayward responds quickly. At Buffalo Plus, Allen mostly took the high road publicly, calling Hayward such a great player, and saying the competitive fire between them might have even helped him get going as the Bills' offense settled in. Heavy.com exclusive came while Hayward promoted asthma campaign. Hayward spoke with Heavy.com one-on-one while promoting his partnership with AstraZeneca to raise awareness about eosinophilic asthma and a simple blood test that can help patients and doctors better understand certain severe forms of the disease. Earlier Monday, Heavy published a separate exclusive feature on Hayward's life with asthma, his game day routine with his inhaler and nebulizer, and the warning signs he wants fans to take seriously. The follow-up conversation about Allen and the Bills game gave Hayward a chance to add new context to a story that had already been picked up by major national outlets, including ESPN, CBS Sports, and others, after his post-game comments about being meat in my stomach went viral. What it means going forward for Hayward and the Steelers. Hayward's exclusive comments to Heavy.com, stressing that he is past it and calling his own penalty bonehead, suggest he is trying to lower the temperature around the incident and redirect attention to the Steelers' stretch run. The NFL routinely reviews potential on-field infractions on Mondays and can levy fines even when no flag is thrown or when only one player is penalized. Any discipline for Hayward, Allen, or others involved would typically be announced later in the week. In the meantime, Hayward said his body is holding up really well despite a physical season and acknowledged it's not the season we all hope for, but believes there is still a lot of meaningful football in front of us if Pittsburgh can clean up mistakes, including emotional penalties. For the Steelers, that likely means their defensive leader staying on the field, avoiding further controversy with one of the league's top quarterbacks and proving that, as Hayward put it, he is focused on what I can control instead of a feud he now insists belongs in the past. The Steelers have been struggling lately, losing 3 of their last 4 games, including a stinker at home against the Bills last Sunday. They have lost their lead in the AFC North, and their fans are growing restless as they were recently heard chanting for head coach Mike Tomlin to lose his job. Former Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger had a lot of success under Tomlin as the two won a Super Bowl together back in 2009. This week, the future Hall of Famer weighed in on the state of the Steelers and whether the team and Tomlin should break up, saying it could be time for Pittsburgh to clean house. Not only did Roethlisberger suggest Tomlin's days as the Steelers' head coach could be coming to an end, but he also threw out a surprising suggestion for Tomlin's next gig, head coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions. It's being talked about around here a lot. Maybe it's a clean house time. Maybe it's time, Roethlisberger said on his podcast, Footballin' with Ben Roethlisberger. I like Coach Tomlin. I have a lot of respect for Coach Tomlin, but maybe it's best for him, too. Maybe a fresh start for him is what's best. Whether that's in the pros, maybe go be Penn State's head coach. You know what he would do in Penn State? He would probably go win national championships. Because he's a great recruiter. Penn State is still looking for its next head coach after firing James Franklin during the season. The Nittany Lions have since failed to lure in some big names, and the program's search has become a bit of a mess. While the chances of Tomlin leaving the Steelers for Penn State seem slim, it is an interesting idea from Roethlisberger. Here he is talking about that on his podcast. Big Ben on Mike Tomlin. Maybe it's a clean house time, and I like Coach Tomlin. I have a lot of respect for Coach Tomlin. Maybe it's best for him, too. Maybe a fresh start for him is what's best. Footballin' with Ben Roethlisberger. Matthew Lucio Roethlisberger on how the Steelers and Mike Tomlin should break up. Roethlisberger spoke more about the state of the Steelers and what a possible exit by Tomlin could look like. Here's what you don't do. You don't fire a guy like Coach Tomlin, Roethlisberger said. He's a Hall of Fame head coach. He's respected. What you do is you come to an understanding and agreement, and it's like, hey, listen, I think it's probably best for both of us. You go, hey, coach, listen, it's probably best for all parties involved. Let's start over. It happened with Chuck Noll. It happened with Coach Cowher. Coach Tomlin's been here a long time. You'd give him a statute, whatever you've got to do, because he deserves it, he's earned it. But it's time to find that next guy. Who's that next guy that could be here for the next 20 years? Tomlin has had a very impressive 19-year run with the Steelers. Hearing Roethlisberger saying it's time for the franchise to make some big moves and that they need to find that next guy to take over as head coach is a bit surprising, but it shows just how tough things seem to be getting for one of the most storied franchises in the NFL. It will be interesting to see how things play out for Tomlin and the Steelers, who are 6-6 and tied with the Ravens in the AFC North. Pittsburgh and the Baltimore will renew their rivalry this Sunday in what is suddenly feeling like a must-win game for the Steelers.